If you are watching this video, chances are that you already have a copy of my heatwave adaptation blueprint, the list of poisonous and common plants, or the greenery guidebook for little hands and beyond. So, if you are an early childhood or school educator or teacher, center manager, center director, school principal, curriculum or compliance person, educational leader or a parent, in this short video, I'm gonna give you a quick overview of what sustainability involves, so you can see what it means to have a sustainable service. Does it mean recycling, turning off the lights, growing food, installing a rainwater tank? And what about climate change? What about heat waves, because they are getting hotter? Does it mean cooling down your outdoor spaces? And at the end of the video, I will also share with you 3 main challenges faced by educators and teachers who are striving to make their center sustainable. Before we go to specifics, we need to clarify the terms, right? The term sustainability is shorthand for sustainable development, which was defined in 1987 by the UN as development that meets the needs of the present generation without compromising the ability of future generations to meet their own needs. Now, if you Google it, you will get a whole menu of terms and definitions, but they will all be shooting off of this original definition. Now, you might be thinking, well, that's all nice, but what does it mean for my service? Fair enough. For a typical early childhood center, school, and to a lesser extent home, it means these 5 things. Number 1, waste. Reduce, reuse, recycle. The most important one is reduce, and it includes food waste. Number 2 is indoor and outdoor greenery. Safe, because 70% of early childhood services have poisonous plants on premises, so it must be safe. Thriving, ideally native. You can use plants as air purifiers, you can use them to cool down or beautify your premises, and of course to grow food. Number 3, behavior change and leadership. The number 1 challenge, we will get to it later, but it is getting people on board with sustainability. So this is under that pillar, but it also means family interactions, community involvement, and improving relationships. Number 4 is procurement or resourcing, which is the same thing, and it includes water usage. What materials are we buying them? In what quantities? Where do they come from? How are we using them? Are they toxic or non-toxic? What appliances, equipment, consumables, play equipment and toys are we buying? And number 5 is energy. Energy efficiency, energy reduction, and if possible, energy generation. Your service is sustainable if these 5 pillars are improving your economic, social, and environmental performance. Now, what do I mean? Well, for example, if you're reducing your electricity usage by turning off the lights and appliances and air cons and all that stuff, that is improving your economic performance because you're saving money, your energy bill is lower, you're also improving your profitability as a business, because you can spend the money elsewhere on important things, right? Well, your social performance, well, it's things like health and safety, improved compliance with energy. Example, let's say that children in your service, they are actually trained or they are educated in a way, in this energy efficiency manner. They hang the washing on a clothesline, they turning off the lights, and then they doing it at home, and that inspires their parents. Their parents will be probably ignorant, they probably won't listen to me, but they won't be ignoring their children, right? So that's your social performance, that's how you make change through the children. And the environmental performance improves, for example, well, by reducing energy usage, there are fewer greenhouse gas, planet-warming emissions entering the atmosphere, contributing to climate change, and that's what we need. The fewer the emissions up in the atmosphere, the less intense and less severe the impacts of climate change, such as heat waves, droughts, intense floods, etc. Now, you might be thinking, who is this person with strong accent? Why should I listen to him? How does he know about sustainability in my service? And what makes him qualified to talk about early childhood services and schools? And that's fair enough question. So, let me give you a very quick introduction. I am Jan, the founder of Sustainable Butterflies. If you see a small butterfly among the pillars, it's not a coincidence. Now, through these pillars, I have helped more than 170 early learning centers and schools directly and more than 1,500 early learning centers and schools indirectly with my resources. I have helped them to become more sustainable. During my 9 years in the Australian educational and care sector, I have seen many approaches and mistakes that are costing centers and schools thousands of dollars of wasted money on utility bills and our shared planet, thousands of tons of greenhouse gas, those planet-warming emissions. Not to mention poisonous and harmful greenery, wasted resources and water, toxic products, misaligned teams and more. Everything I help my clients with falls under the 5X transformation program. 5 because of 5 pillars, X, I won't bother you with what that stands for, but I can assure you it's got nothing to do with adult teams. And in just a quick moment, I'm gonna give you an opportunity to taste what the 5X transformation program can do for you and your early learning service, school, and even home. But before I do that, let me share with you these main challenges faced by thousands of educators and teachers who strive, who want to make their service sustainable, but who face these challenges. Number 1, getting people on board. That's always been a number 1 challenge across the board over the years. In most services, if they're lucky enough to actually have someone, one educator and teacher, whose role it is to make the center sustainable, well, if they have someone, Amy, when Amy leaves or goes on holidays, the practices fall like a house of cards, right? They collapse. That's very common because for many reasons, but one of the reasons is, well, sustainability is still seen as a if you are passionate about it, then you will do it and others will kind of follow when you're around. But if you're not around, they won't hang the washing on the clothesline, they won't water the garden, they won't use the rainwater tank, they will stop engaging with the community and driving this, right? I can go on forever. That's number 1. Number 2 is waste. Most services are high in waste generation. A lot of that is because of compliance. They have to use single-use gloves, single-use paper towels, wiping everything. They use a lot of bags, they use nappies, which is compliance, and diapers in US, etc. They use a lot of food. There are allergies, there is a lot of food waste, but there is a lot of waste in this sector, and that's the second biggest challenge. And this is not some theory. I have gathered this is evidence-based from educators and teachers and my observations, right? And number 3 is the mix of everything, such as there is a high staff turnover, I don't have good quality educators, the budget is low, I don't have the time, I can't make my own decisions, I have to get approval from the principal or some committee or from the landlord, I can't install rainwater tanks or solar panels or change the lights, etc. I don't know how to balance sustainability and compliance, I am afraid that someone will comment on my new things, doing things differently, etc., etc., etc. Now, whether you do sustainability for environmental, social, or economic reasons, here is what I'm offering to you. I am offering a free 15-minute sustainability mini-audit that is tailored, customized to your specific early childhood service, school, or even home. Here is what you need to do. Fill out a short form that is linked on the page where you see this video, or if you're watching it on YouTube, in the video description, and I will get back to you. That form will tell me whether I can help you based on your circumstances. So, if you've been wondering how do I make my service sustainable, whether it's for economic, environmental and social reasons, or whether you're concerned about climate change, I have been there. I know what works and what doesn't work in the services. And I don't know for how long I'm going to be offering these free 15-minute sustainability mini audits that are all via Zoom actually. So don't wait, complete the form today and I will get back to you.